Today I'm going to be riding my Mustang Jaeger with my appaloosa Theodore for the first time. My friend Tess will be helping me out. Prior to the boys being together in the arena, I did turn them out together so that they could meet and work out any differences. Now both Theodore and Jaeger are higher in the hierarchy, and I was concerned on how they might interact with each other. Now Theodore just oozes confidence, and he came out on top. There was a bunch of interactions that I did not catch on camera, but he definitely put Jaeger in his place. To be honest, that was a bit of a relief, as Jaeger had been pretty dominant, at least towards Merlin. He was kind of a bully, especially when they were in the round pen, although it's been a lot more peaceful since moving to the larger pasture. Anyway, I was a little bit nervous about riding Jaeger and Theodore together, and I wanted to first make sure that Jaeger would be able to keep his focus on me, despite the distraction of now having Theodore in the ring with him. Since getting into Mustangs, I feel like my brain just now wants to break everything into tiny baby steps, so whether it was needed or not, I made a plan to slowly work my way up to riding. Tess and I started with just lunging the horses in the arena together. We did a lot of direction changes just to keep bringing that attention back to me. This was also, of course, helpful for Theodore, who hasn't been worked with another horse in quite some time. Check out the streak sense of the barn cat Manu. Look at her stopping at the stop sign, waiting for traffic to pass, and when it's clear, she crosses the street. She's always hanging out here in the arena when we're working. I then moved Jaeger into the canter, as it's a little bit more exciting for the horse to move up into a higher speed. He was able to keep his attention on me, as you can see by his inside ear glued towards me. He did have a moment after I asked him to change directions, but quickly composed himself and all was well. I asked for a few other direction changes going back to the canter, and then moved on to the next phase of preparation, continuing to test Jaeger and see how he would handle things. I hopped on Theodore to start riding around Jaeger. Right now, Tess has good control of Jaeger, and I'm using Theodore to get a little bit closer and just make sure that Jaeger is okay with this. We started off with plenty of space and slowly moved our way closer. I think Theodore liked the job of invading personal space bubbles. Jaeger seemed to take everything in stride. Like I said, we just slowly worked our way to getting quite close. So I hopped off Theodore and let Tess climb on. The next thing we did was lunge Jaeger while Tess rode around on Theodore. Again, I'm continuing to test him and make sure that he's still listening to me despite what's going on around him. I had him trot on the lunge line, do some direction changes, and then we moved on to cantering. He was doing a good job paying attention to me, so I stopped him and moved up to the next level, which was ground driving. I now have less control than I did when leading him and on the lunge line. So again, I'm testing his limits and starting with a pretty big distance between him and Theodore. We slowly worked our way closer, and eventually we were ground driving around the inner circle while Tess and Theodore rode on the outside circle. All went well, so I decided it was time to mount. At this point, I was feeling pretty confident that Jaeger would be listening well to me. Regardless, we started with a pretty significant distance between Jaeger and Theodore. Similar to how I was preparing him, we started from a distance and slowly got closer and closer. Both horses did really well. I'm really excited about this because this opens a lot of possibilities for me to be riding with other friends and just doing more with the horses. Now, it was pretty cold this day, and because of that, my phone died pretty quickly, so my phone is about to cut out. We did continue our ride and got the horses pretty close together, so it was a big win. Thanks for watching and supporting. See you next time.